Ah, welcome back, adventurer. Thirsty for more knowledge, are we? Yes, of course. You're free to roam my more spells. I have them from all six corners of the world. You want to see my firsts? Well, that would be here, then. From when I was still an adventurer. The Birdie Bunch. No? Well, I suppose if you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. Still, in short, it was my old adventuring party. It consisted of Austin, Falca, Toto, and myself. We all had many adventures and came out of them different and better people than we went in. But you're not here to listen to an old man prattle off about his golden years. You wouldn't believe half the things I told you anyway. Like that time I boxed Empyrean to a standstill, single-handedly. Or when I choked out the mighty Tarask with nothing but an adamantine chain and Toto. Sorry, got lost again. Yes, my earliest written spells. Well, my first would be one that I created myself. With help of the Great White Owl, of course. And one I found particularly useful. I call it my Prehensile Hair. This spell has saved me many times, anything from catching arrows to climbing walls, to grappling or attacking at a range that I simply cannot. Anything your hands can do, this hair can do, except hold a weapon. The grip they have on a weapon designed for actual hands is practically unusable, and don't even get me started on using a bow. Absolutely not. That's right out. No accuracy, you can't even knock the arrow properly. But for just about anything else, you're set. I don't need to tell you having 2 extra hands is incredibly useful, especially if you enroll here at my monastery, where we teach you to use those hands to be more deadly than the sword at your hip there. And as a spellcaster, you might find this hair will outstrength you. I've watched even the scrawniest of my students out-wrestle the Arctic bears and yeti that like to raid us here every once in a while. Although, one of these in my days, 9 times out of 10 I was just holding on to my dear friend Toto. She was the healer of the party, but more than that, she was the heart. Watching over us, making sure we had enough to eat, drink, that we were doing okay, and reprimanding us when we did wrong. Which is actually where this next spell comes from, Toto's Sonic Scream. You know, she never set out to make this spell, but discovered it by complete accident. She was angry at me for breaking a table. In her defense, she was a cleric of Shaylin, and in defending myself, I broke a stone gaming table. It was the most gorgeous and ornate thing you'd ever seen, with designs and priceless gems adorning it. Yeah. Destroying art in front of a cleric of the goddess of beauty, that was never going to end well for me. But during her yelling, Shaylin must have agreed that I had done something heinous, and Toto's shout became thunderous, and actually deafened me for a while. In that moment, she sounded like a thunderclap went off right next to me. And to this day, I'm not sure I deserve that kind of yelling. But, in the long run, I suppose it paid off. Speaking of paying off, Falca spent so much time making her signature spell. Falca's protective tornado was the result of her creative brain tired of being shot at. Being a wind-focused wizard, she was inspired by the power of the tornado she was already able to summon. So, she just centered one on herself. Spinning her hand over her head, powerful winds whipped up around her, and she was finally able to make her protective bubble. And her days of being shot at, while staying in the back, were over. But when she was done, she wasn't done. Ever the perfectionist, she made more tweaks, and after many all-nighters of perfecting it and tweaking it and just wanting to get it right, she was able to have her tornado carry her around, giving her fly speed, and somehow, by casting the spell underwater, the force of the air pushing out of her is able to make water itself move out of the way. And she could breathe just fine. Your eyes are wandering, I see. Yes, this last spell is a powerful one. From Austin, our bard of so many personalities. When he was making this spell and I asked him why, he only said that people are too stuck with one personality. Some of them are kind of the worst. So, he was going to bring it upon himself to give everyone at least one new personality. And with this spell, you can. With only a wizard's spellbook page and a little bit of time to cast, you overwrite someone's entire personality for a day. But be warned, this is not as subtle as you think. True sight or even a simple detect magic will reveal a page on their back. And this is very serious. Austin's little black book is not to be underestimated. And I understand how powerful this spell is, and its great potential for evil. But you need to promise me that you will not use it for such. Because if I catch wind of you doing so, either I or one of my students will come to deal with you. Are we clear? Good. Well, I hope those are what you're looking for, and those are originals. So please, do be careful. Oh, I can see you're busy writing. I'll leave you to that. Fare thee well, traveller. And next time you stop by, maybe you'll branch out. Come to see my magic items. Or stop by for a lesson from the great owl himself.